How's it going, everyone? I am here with my WWE Battleground 2015 pay-per-view review. Of course, Battleground wrapped up not too long ago. I gotta say, coming out of the show, I was pleasantly pleased with what I got. I thought the show was fun and enjoyable. For the most part, there was honestly, I can say, one match on the show that I did not like at all. So the fact that there's only one match that I didn't like throughout the entire show was actually saying a lot. And, I thought each match was at least on a good level. Talking about like level of like, bad, decent, okay, good, whatever. I thought every match besides one match was on a good level, so that's really good to say. So, yeah, I just thought it was a fun, enjoyable show. I enjoyed it, and, yeah, I enjoyed it. That's pretty much all I can really say about it. Going into the show, of course, yeah, the 1 hour kickoff before the show started, not too much happened. I think the only good highlight happened on the show was New Day interrupting the panel. I thought that was pretty good and pretty entertaining with New Day interrupting them when they started talking about the New Day in the panel, so I thought that was pretty entertaining. Of course, you had the King of the Ring crown match on there, King Barrett vs. R-Truth. Nothing noteworthy talking about King Barrett retaining the crown with a bullhammer, so he beat R-Truth to remain King of the Ring. And then we had a interview with Paul Heyman asking, how on the kickoff shows they always had these ask questions for certain people in the last 3 questions, and Paul Heyman was great. He was being sarcastic as always, answering the questions, so I thought Paul Heyman did a great job with that. So yeah, the kickoff show, not really worthy of anything else besides those, just whatever kickoff show, nothing really too special. And then we go on to the pay-per-view itself, which opened up with Randy Orton versus Sheamus. This was a good match, but it was extremely slow, and I mean extremely. The crowd was red hot, but the match was not. I don't know, it just, like, every maneuver they did was just, it seemed like it was so slowly executed. Like, when Orton did a scoop slam, it seemed like he took forever to give him a scoop slam. I know Sheamus is a big guy, not like fat, but like, he's a big muscular guy, so I know it'll, be harder to do, some of his moves on him. But it just seemed like even when Sheamus, took him down and put him into the clover leaf, it looked like he took like an hour to get Orton on his back, to grab his legs set up for it. It seemed very slow, and it was very odd, and it was just, I mean, it's one of those matches where it's good, but you have to have patience with it. But yeah, like I said, it was a good opener overall. Orton tried to hit RKO. Sheamus hit a brogue kick on Orton, but couldn't pin him. And then Orton ended up pinning RKO out of nowhere to get the victory. So, like I said, good match, but just slow and just, I really couldn't get into it, but it was good for what it was. From there, I'm going to an interview with Stephanie McMahon backstage, pretty much saying that tonight there'll be a Divas Triple Threat match, which each member of Team Bella, Team Paige, and Team BAD with their representatives. So they'll, pretty much just saying that they'll be triple threat one of those with one of the 9 divas, or 3 of the 9 divas, I should say. Steph looking great, by the way. Might I just thought I'd throw that out there. But when done, she looked great. That's the real question. And then from there, we're going to the WWE Tag Team Championship match. The Primetime Players was the New Day. Very fun match here. I really enjoyed it. Big E looked pretty good in this match. He did a really impressive spot where Darren Young was on the apron, and Big E did a splash on onto the apron, which looked pretty painful, but it looked pretty badass too at the same time. Xavier Woods is absolutely gold at ringside, just shouting and yelling the absurdity and whatever, just putting over the New Day. Absolutely loved the spot when Titus O'Neil, I think it was Titus O'Neil, he had a leg drop on one of them, and Xavier was like, "Worst leg drop ever!" Like, just his craziness and the way he is, he just fits that role, manager role, so well. I'm so happy that, he's contributed to the New Day. But yeah, a very fun tag team match here. Of course, Titus O'Neil got that hot tag towards the end of the match, and the ending sequence was actually a lot of fun. New Day going for their finisher. Darren Young got out of it, threw Big E into the post. Kofi tried to hit him Trouble in Paradise. Darren Young ducked, hit the Gutbuster on him, tagged in Titus at the Clash of Titus on Big E, which led to the 1-2-3 pinfall. So Primetime Players retained the tag team titles, which was a very fun match with a really awesome ending sequence, I thought. So good stuff from both teams there. From there, we're going to a backstage segment with Paige, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch, pretty much just telling them how they're going to take down the Divas division, or they're going to bring the house down and rebuild it brick by brick by brick. So yeah, just whatever segment there. And then we go on to Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt. The one match in the card that I did not like on the show. I thought this match was really boring. I couldn't get into it. I didn't like it. This match actually got a lot of mixed reviews on Twitter that I saw. I know a lot of people were liking it and a lot of people were not liking it. I was one of the ones that didn't like it, so I don't know. I couldn't get into it. I'm not a fan of either guy, so that makes it that much worse, the fact that I couldn't get into it. But I will give them credit. The last 5 minutes was pretty good. I love the spot with Roman Reigns trying to do the leg drop on the apron. Bray Wyatt actually countered that to the clothesline and took out Roman Reigns. I thought that was a really cool spot there. But for the most part, like I said, I didn't like the match. Bray Wyatt tried to get steel chairs involved. Roman Reigns was able to prevent that. Roman Reigns had a steel chair. Ref wasn't looking. From out of nowhere, someone in a black not a suit, but like a tracksuit with the hoodie on. Couldn't see him. You could see him actually, but they didn't want you to see him. Very obviously who it was. Super kicks Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns flies into the ring. Bray Wyatt gets him, hits him with Sister Abigail, and hits the 1-2-3 victory. So Bray Wyatt defeats Roman Reigns. I'm happy about that ending because if you guys watched my prediction video, I said how I thought Bray Wyatt should win this match, and probably with Roman Reigns winning the rematch at SummerSlam, I felt that was the way they should have been going, and that may or may not be the case now. Well, Bray Wyatt won, but whether or not it's a singles match at SummerSlam is unknown, because after the match, the person that was disguised got in the ring, unzipped himself, and revealed that it was Luke Harper. So Luke Harper's back with Bray Wyatt, and Roman Reigns probably is going to find a partner, whether it's Dean Ambrose or rumored, which I hope to God it's not, because it makes no sense in the world, Sting, the tag with Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. I don't really care to see. I'd rather see, honestly, Roman Reigns and Luke Harper in a singles match at SummerSlam, to be honest. I think that'd be pretty good. But, yeah, just, I don't really care for this feud at all, but we'll see where it goes going forward. But, yeah, Bray Wyatt wins, which was a very much needed victory for him, in my opinion. From there, we're going to an interview with Team Bad backstage, pretty much them just talking about how they're going to take over the Divas division and whatnot. And then that led into the Divas triple threat match, which was Brie, Bella, Charlotte, and Sasha Banks being representative of their teams. Very good match here, of course. This is probably the best main roster Divas match all year so far. This was actually really solid. Charlotte and Sasha Banks doing their thing. Brie Bella was kind of just there. She was taking a nap on the apron during the match too for some reason. She was just laying there for no reason. But yeah, a solid performance from Sasha and Charlotte. Charlotte Banks. Charlotte and Sasha Banks, sorry. I got those two a little mixed up right there. Good showing from them, especially since this is their first match since being on the main roster. I thought they perfectly showcased each other. The counters and the mat wrestling they're doing, I thought it was very good. They did a big spot on the outside, of course, with Brie Bella and Team Bella on the outside, being surrounded by the other divas, which led to Sasha Banks doing a dive on the outside, and then Charlotte jumping over the top onto all of them. So that was a pretty cool spot for them to do there. And then, of course, Charlotte ended up getting the victory with the figure 8, she calls it, because she does the whole bridge thing to make it even tighter. The figure 8 on Brie Bella, and Brie Bella tapped out. So, like I said, very, very good Divas match here. Best main roster Divas match this year, in my opinion. From there on, we go to the United States Championship match. John Cena vs. Kevin Owens. Once again, another awesome match from these two. I don't think these two are capable of having a bad match, even if they tried, because this is their third straight match, and this is their third straight classic match. It's amazing. There are 3 matches they've had you can argue were matches of the year candidates. Well, they are matches of the year candidates, but you can argue if they're matches of the year or not. Just absolutely amazing. Those two have such awesome matches, and I can't wait when they have a big time feud for the World Championship. It'll just be awesome, and I can't wait for it. This match here was just awesome. The one thing I'm not going to complain about, but I'm going to say is this applies to their second match too. All their matches, you see a lot of the same stuff. Because I guess the small time frame they've been feuding, I guess it's hard to come up with new stuff in each match, especially when all your matches are so close to each other. It's hard to come up with new things to do. So they did a lot of the same things they did in the other matches, but I'm not going to sit here and say that's bad. I think that the match is still very good. Kevin Owens looking great, yelling at Cole on commentary to make sure he's calling it right and make sure he's watching the match. I thought Owens did great in the match, and Cena hit 3 AAs on Owens, and Owens kicked out of all 3 AAs, with the third one being from the second rope. No one kicks out of a top rope or a second rope AA. No one, and Owens did that. I thought that made him look awesome. Owens did an awesome spot where he gave Cena a super kick followed by an AA and put in the STF, and ending came when John Cena put in the STF. He had a minute for a while. And then Owens eventually just tapped out, so Cena retains the championship. I know a lot of people are pissed off about that ending. To me, the only way I'll excuse it is if Owens is still in the U.S. title picture at SummerSlam, and if he wins the title there. The only reason I can see Owens, or the only reason why I think Owens did not win this match this time, is because he has the NXT title match at TakeOver against Finn Balor the night before SummerSlam. So I think the way they're thinking, hopefully this is the way they're thinking, is have Owens go into that match as challenger at NXT TakeOver, have him lose to Finn Balor, the next match SummerSlam he wins the U.S. title, because it would look bad if Owens, the United States champion, went down to NXT, challenged the NXT title, and then lost. That just looked bad on his part, because he's a main roster champion, went back down to NXT and lost the title match. To me, that would just make him look bad, and I think to make the U.S. title look bad a little bit, because the NXT champion beat the United States champion. I know you can argue that, hey, well, Owens beat him beat Cena at the Chamber when he was NXT champion, Cena's US champion. True, but Owens was a mainstay in the main roster at that point, though. Where Finn Balor is not. He's a mainstay in developmental still. So I don't think it, with the way they're thinking, they're probably thinking, well, it wouldn't look good for the US champion to lose in developmental like that. So hopefully that's their way of thinking. If not, well, then Owens should have won this match, no question about it. So I'm just interested to see where they go forward. But yeah, another classic match from Cena Owens here. Great stuff between those two. From there on, we go to a very random and very pointless segment with The Miz. Pretty much just him talking about his Intercontinental title match being called off because Wyatt got injured, which led to Big Show coming out and knocking him out. So yeah, that was a big waste of time. And then we go to the main event, which was the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar. This match, almost a year in the making. Since Night of Champions last year when Seth Rollins tried to cash in on Brock Lesnar, then I've been dying to see this go at it, and they go at it finally. And talk about underwhelming. This match was just very underwhelming. Not saying it was bad. I thought Seth Rollins did a good portion, a good job on his part, getting, especially the offense he got. And he got on a lot of offense that you don't see more people get on against Brock. I'd say he got more offense than Roman Reigns and John Cena did. So that's and Undertaker too. Well, Undertaker and Brock was kind of like almost 50-50, or maybe even 60-40 offense defense wise at 30. Yeah, Seth Rollins got quite a few offense in. Threw super kicks like no tomorrow at Brock Lesnar trying to ground him, but Brock Lesnar was not having it. Took him to Suplex City, 13 suplexes, 13. Then he hit it F5, but as he's pinning him, 1, 2, before the 3 count, or I think even before the 2nd count, to be honest, dong! Lights go out, lights come back on, Undertaker and Brock Lesnar in the ring. Somehow Seth Rollins and Mike Chioda disappeared, but it's Brock Lesnar and the Undertaker. Undertaker goes to chokeslam him, Brock Lesnar counters to an F5, Undertaker counters into a tombstone, hits it, leaves, goes, no, I'm not done, hits another tombstone on Lesnar, and then leaves, and that's how the show ends. Ugh, man. Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, SummerSlam, because that's basically where it's leading to. I'm not for it. I think they'll put on a better match than the WrestleMania, without a doubt. I mean, look at Undertaker. He just looks 10 years younger than he did at 30. Even though he's older than when he was at 30, he looks a lot healthier and a lot better. So I think their match will definitely be a lot better. But it's kind of dumb when you think about it. Like, why would Undertaker wait now to get his revenge for the streak being broken? This match would have made a lot more sense at 31, I think. But I guess they just don't want Undertaker to be like, well, the streak ended, whatever. I think they want Undertaker to extract his revenge on Brock. So I can see why they're doing it, but I just don't necessarily agree with the timing, I guess. But yeah, Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, for what it was good. Like I said, it was just very underwhelming. The match didn't get 10 minutes. I think it was like maybe 7-8 minutes. It didn't get a lot of time, which is very shameful because the pay-per-view had like 15 minutes left when it ended. So this match easily could have gotten another 10 minutes if they wanted to, but it was very short for some reason. And it's disappointing because I think those two honestly could have put on something special with their styles. Like I said, Seth Rollins is the high-flying, agile, quick guy. And Brock Lesnar is pretty much the same, but he's not high-flying like him. So I think they, their abilities very much mirror each other, and they could have put on something really good and special, I thought, but we didn't get that, unfortunately. So it's really disappointing, for a match that's been waiting almost a year to see to be the way it was. But you know what, Brock Lesnar's a beast. They want him to dominate all his matches and pretty much kill his opponent. So I understand where they're coming from. At the same time, it's like, I wish they would give us a competitive Brock Lesnar match because we haven't really seen that. I know we somewhat saw that with Reigns with the comeback at 31, but I wish we would get a Lesnar match where it's actually, not, I don't want to say 50-50, but just a back and forth match, I should say. But yeah, Battleground overall I enjoyed. Like I said, I had fun. Leave your guys' thoughts and comments below if you'd like about the show, if you liked it or not. What about the show you liked, what you didn't like about it, and whatnot. And that'll do it for this video, guys. And until next time, I'll see you guys later, and thank you for watching once again.